Hello, this is Crypto CJ. Welcome to today's trade of the day. It's the Monday night Zoom edition, and Bitcoin has been just kind of cruising on down, popped up for a little while today, and then just going mostly sideways. It's been frustrating. I think a lot of traders are on the sidelines trying to see what's happening, so not a lot of people are doing much. It's also the holidays. Maybe fewer people in the Western world are trading crypto, and maybe people in the eastern part of the world are saying, well, the Westerners aren't trading, so we'll take some time off too. Who knows? But regardless, let's check out my chart. We'll look at Bitcoin, see if we can come up with anything interesting. So, all right, you guys should be seeing my Bitcoin 4-hour chart.
We are.
Thank you. And all right, so on the day, you can see my Fibonacci retracements. It's just sitting here right in the sweet spot, right in the middle between the low back in July and then the high we had in recently in November. So it's kind of hanging around the middle. This is usually a good place to buy it if you're a swing trader. I am not, so let's see what we can do on a day trade. We'll actually go to 4-hour. I drew this little trend line down here. It's sinking slightly. It did bounce off of it this morning and then pop up. We broke through 47 again. Looks like 48's been some short-term resistance. We haven't been able to hold 50, you know, since really just for a couple days last week. So our 100K by the end of the year isn't looking good, but getting back up to 60 would be nice. Even over 50 at this point would make me feel better. Okay, well, and then I looked at the news. I went through the CryptNation Altcoin Alert group too, and didn't really see anything, mind blowing. Well, that obviously, if we did, we'd have more price action than this. Bitcoin miners are mostly holding, even despite the current prices. And there was one other thing. It was minor anyway. I think it had to do with that the GBT trust or whatever they call it. Grayscale, yeah, this one here hits a record discount of 21.3%. So that's down too. So not a lot of good news regarding Bitcoin, but nothing really earth shaking on the bad side either. Hence the sideways chop. All right, any questions or comments on Bitcoin? All right, Ethereum looks pretty much the same. 4-hour chart, got a support trend line here going. It's bounced off this a couple times. Let's see if it can work its way back up to 4,000. It's pretty close now, 39.70, but that has been, some short-term resistance lately. So we'll see if we can punch through 4,000 and hold that. For what it's worth, everyone has predictions regarding Bitcoin and Ethereum, but I think it's just going to go mostly sideways. Probably not too much happening with it. That much excitement this holiday season. Bitcoin might, bop on up to 50. Maybe Ethereum gets 4,000 and hangs around there for a while. I don't think there's going to be anything too radical. So now that I've said that and it's been recorded on film, it'll probably do something radical either way. But anyway, Murphy's Law of Zoom calls. Okay, any comments or questions about Bitcoin and Ethereum and the market overall?
CJ, I was just looking at that chart. If you do a trend line on the peaks, you're getting a wedge, aren't you?
Yeah.
Don't know what that means, but
yeah, Pat Craig's talking about this right here.
I was just going to say, what does that flag mean?
Yeah.
Break out in some direction.
So, so it's got to break out of there somewhere, doesn't it?
Right. So it's going to go here and see if they're going to shoot up or shoot down.
I think when it's equilateral like that, it's undecisive, isn't it? Unless it's a rising wedge or a falling wedge.
Yeah, and it's
not. Neither.
either.
Lots
So
of analysts are calling it out at 30,000, saying it's gonna break wedge and drop down to 30.
Wow, that's
just a brief drop and then a bounce back up, and then it's supposed to go up to 100 and something.
Okay, you're talking
Yeah, right.
Bitcoin. We're on Ethereum.
I'm sorry, that same.
Yeah.
Well, they look the
same concept. So
Probably same.
Yeah, agreed.
yeah, it could drop down to 3,000 and then, you know, shoot on up to, you know, 4,500 or something. Could be. Right now, it's hard to say what it's going to do, and this doesn't help us too much because this is, you know, it's not really defined one way or the other. I mean, Bitcoin is trending up in the last few hours, so that's, you know, that's that could be useful, but who knows?
The volume's so low, it could do anything.
That's true. Oliver wants me to look at comp. Oliver, remind me later. Usually I go through Altcoin Alert and iCoinPro recommendations first. Then we look at you know, individual coins during the what do you want to talk about phase of the show. So keeping with that structure, if there's nothing else, we'll move on to Altcoin Alert, see if we can find some trades here. Okay. All right, lately we've been working on going with the long-term sentiment scores, and I've been using the short-term sentiment sometimes to, I mean, the reversal of this to find some bearish coins to short on derivatives. So for now, we'll just look at, well, refresh this. So the top coin on the long-term sentiment sort is Stellar, or XLM. I bought this. Let's, here we go.
You bought it already?
Chart. I did, and didn't even follow my own rules. I saw that it was trending up pretty hard here, and there's good good retracement potential to this area here. I was just looking to get a couple percent, and it just went kind of crapped out. So I was impatient. I thought I would show you guys what happens when even I don't follow my own rules, and it went against me. Not horribly so, but you know, I'm down a couple percent now, and had I just been more patient, I could have caught it down here with a better entry price. But anyway, okay, let's start from the beginning. On the day chart, this is my divergences chart. I don't show this one much, but since I have it open already, I thought I'd just use it.
Is that divergence strategy, or what is it?
This is a indicator.
BWAP.
Yeah, it's an indicator that's all divergences for many indicators. It's this one here, version 4. And I can set an alerts on this, and it'll just chime in with whatever divergence is happening. It'll tell you which one it is. And some of these I'd never heard of, so I might pull some of them out. But you know, HIST is histogram. You know, that's the MACD histogram, and RSI we talked about before. MFI, you know, we talked about, that's this one here. Then MOM is momentum. OBV is on balance volume, which I'd never heard of. So I might pull some of these out, but for now I'm just leaving them all in. And then so when one of the alerts goes off, I look at the other indicators and see if I can use them. If they agree, they confirm, then I'm inclined to take the trade. So I haven't tested this enough to really talk about it much on the show, but since I have it open, I thought I'd run it by real quick. If I have some consistent results with it, I'll definitely let you guys know, because it would be easier just to throw an alert on here and wait to get in that way. All right, so right now on the day chart, you know, we had the all-time high back in November, 41 cents. It's trended down pretty hard from there, down to 25 cents on the hour chart. Yeah, we have earlier today, and this is what I was interested in, a retrace. I mean, it got all the way up to 27 cents. You know, that's you know, 8% drop. So I was looking to recover some of that in the trade, which why I was less concerned about my technicals. And then right now, got multiple bearish divergences, so probably not a good place to get in. It has bounced off the short-term support here right around 25 cents, give or take, a little above that, like 25.25 cents. That would be a good place to get in. Kind of squeezy right now. We've only got, well, it's better than I thought, 3.5% between the Bollinger Bands. Well, shoot, I should do the most recent. Yeah, right here, it's only less than 2%. So when it squeezes in like this, it could shoot up or could shoot down. We'd rather have something that's, at least on spot trading, that's worked its way down and should be coming back up. That's why a better entry would be around here, around 25 cents. So any questions on XLM? Okay. Patrick asked a pretty good question. Do these alerts from your indicators count against the TradingView max limit of 100 server-side alerts? No, because these are indicators, but there are some limits on indicators. I think I can only have 10 per chart. So right now I've got, 3 that are visible and 1 that's hidden. The EMA line, I could delete that and then, I'd just be down to 4 indicators. But I was working on something over the weekend and I had a bunch of indicators left over that I had, unshown. And then I got a message, you have too many indicators, you need to upgrade. So I deleted a couple and I was good. So, all right. Any questions on XLM? Okay, let's see. What else we have? XYO, also very bullish. Bullish on the AA score, not very bullish though, but very bullish on the long-term sentiment. So I'm usually looking for at least 2 positives, or one in addition to what I see on the long-term sentiment. And the bullish AA score I think qualifies. I'd like to see some technical indicators too on the at least neutral side or bullish here. But if that were the case, maybe it wouldn't, have this one. So
it was bullish on the hourly before.
Okay.
It's just recently changed.
Yeah, let's look at XYO. This is traded on Coinbase, so it's probably worth a look. Okay. On the day chart, we hit an all-time high back in November. Pretty big dump from there. %60%, but showed some recovery earlier today and then dropped again. On the 1 hour, yeah, that was the big pump we had. Up to about 4.5 cents. Let's give it back to 3.5 cents now. Trending down. Looks like it wants to start its dip sequence. 5%, that's not as squeezy as it looks. A little bit of resistance here, almost where we are now. It's not a bad entry, but I see the bubble starting to form here. I'd want to see this play out. Maybe put an alert down here around 3.4 cents. Let's see if it comes down. That would be a better entry. And then we just look for a retrace. If we catch it down here, to where the SMA line currently is, which is almost is right about 6%. And we've got some resistance here at 3.7 cents. It's nearly 9%. And then more resistance here at this level, 3.88 cents, 14%. So might go for the middle and catch this here. So Any questions on XYO?
I guess I have a question as far as so it's breaking the bottom, and you're thinking, and usually you're like looking for the MFI to correlate to that. It's not quite at this point, but you're shaking your head.
I agree. It's not.
Oh,
It's not
okay.
really correlated. It's like, well, just trended down now, but it looked like the MFI was a little more enthusiastic than the candle action, but not much more. So, and we are on a 5-minute chart, so it's going to be a little twitchy.
So I earlier today I picked up the trade when the MFI and the price broke through the Bollinger Band at the bottom.
Okay.
And it was a good trade, about 3.5%.
Nice.
But the thing is, I was expecting it to. Well, when I got rid of it, went to the EMA line.
Mm-hmm.
And then broke down. It looks like if I had held it longer, it would have gone to the other side of the Bollinger Bands. But I was just confused. I was confused. I'm like, so when it breaks at the bottom like that, and the MFI correlates to it, are we looking at a complete travel to the other Bollinger Band, or just the EMA line?
It depends what your plan is. You said EMA line. Did you mean SMA line, the red one?
SMA line, yes.
Okay. Because this is the EMA line here on this particular. Yeah. So, well, it depends what your plan is. And this is subjective to some degree. Yeah, and I talk about it on the show all the time. If you have a plan and you put the plan in place and you've researched it, you've done your TA, your due diligence, and you achieve that plan, feel good about it. Doesn't matter what it does after that. And it's perfectly reasonable to do what you did, catch something that goes below the Bollinger Band. Maybe that was it on this coin or was it on something else?
That coin.
All right.
Yeah,
so
earlier today.
So let's say this was 7 a.m. my time. You get a couple dips below the Bollinger Band. The MFI is dropped below. Also, if you catch this, in this range here, it goes up to the SMA line, and you pick up 3 to 6%. That's a good day trade. And if it goes beyond like it did here, that's it's risky to keep holding beyond here. Your risk keeps going up. Now I talk about retraces and doing the middle thing, like I just did a moment ago. Try to catch it here, and there's some resistance here. There's more resistance here, and I can mark it off here. Here's some resistance. And here's some resistance. And up here some more.
So in other words, you aim for the resistance rather than necessarily the SMA. Because you don't really know where the SMA is going to be at, so to speak.
True, because it's gonna drop some if you get a dip sequence here. So, but when I first learned how to day trade, this was one of the goals we had was to get to the SMA line. So, that's a reasonable choice for a day trader. I tend to look at resistance more now than I used to. And I think, we're going to talk about iCoinPro, and they teach about going to the SMA line because it's easy to see. It's, it's a conservative
on the 1,
easy
2, 3
thing.
dip.
Right. It's a little more difficult for new traders to identify, resistance, support and resistance. So they do teach that a little later, but, like it's on here, but yeah, going to the SMA line is fine. Getting 3% in a day trade is good. Pile those up, you'll have a nice balance over time. So that's one of the things we're trying to teach here. All right. Anything else on that, Nathan?
No, that's it.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thanks for sharing. Appreciate that. Love to hear about you guys' trades, especially if you're incorporating some of the ideas, that we talk about here. And I'm also always open to fresh ideas too. So let's check the chat real quick before we move on. All right. All right. Laura's asking, do I have the TradingView Plus or the next one up where you get 400 alerts? No, I have TradingView Plus or Pro Plus. So that's 10. That's think it's 100 alerts now. I don't know if it's, but I certainly don't have 400. So I've got the Pro Plus
10
plan.
charts. 10
Yeah,
charts and
10
100
charts.
alerts, I think.
Got,
Okay.
10 of these chart layouts. So, and Leanne, I don't know if she's on, but she shared with me via email about some of the value of templates, and I haven't done much with it yet, but these do not count towards your layouts, and I believe they can be customized, but I haven't done much with it yet. So if somebody else wants to jump on that, that would be cool. I don't quite have a need for it yet, but I might in the future.
If they're anything like MT4, which I imagine they are, very, very handy, because you can create, a variety of different scenarios. If you'd like to use certain indicators on, say, your top-down analysis, you started at 1 day, maybe you want to see something other than maybe your money. If you're doing a short term, that's where your money intake comes in. You can save a multitude of different templates. I couldn't live without them. Without a doubt, they're extremely, extremely handy.
I've done trainings on TradingView, and no one's ever talked about templates before, so I should do that. So in the near future. All right, any questions on XYO before we move on? Okay, so we did a couple of the long-term sentiment sorts. Let's see what we have on the AA scores. Okay. Well, actually, one more on the sentiment. If you want to short something, some of you guys do trade leverage on here. I don't recommend that until you're very confident and seasoned as a spot trader, but we have a bunch of bearish ones listed right now. Axie is a coin I like to trade. When I was on Binance, I traded it a lot. It's a little more difficult now. I think it might be on Bybit, but. So anyway, there's a bunch of options here, and we're getting both long-term sentiment bearish and Elder Impulse daily bearish. So those are good combinations if you want to short something. So I'm not going to go over that here because I don't do much about leverage on this, but for those of you who do, check that out. All right, over to the AA score. Got Orion with an 83.9, not bad. The FX, I don't know this one very well, and then the rest are below 80. So let's we'll go ahead and look at Orion, ORN. It's on Coinbase. We'll check it out there. Not much volume though. Okay, looks like it was listed in August. Had a big run up in September to it's like $13, down to below $5 now. On the hour, yesterday it was up to 531. It's now below 5. It has come back up from where it was earlier today. The 5-minute. Well, about 3.7% between the Bollinger Bands. It wasn't a bubble. It's squeezing together now. Did go up, leveling off. Got some support down here around 475. I think that's where I would want to get in. And then if I go to the current, most likely if I caught it down here, the SMA line would curve down. So I'm guessing where the SMA line would be, since we just talked about it, probably get 3.5 to 4%. Got support here, or resistance here, right around $5. That could be a reasonable place to go, as it was, 520, last night. So could return back there. So that would be my plan. Catch it down here around 475, ride it back up just below $5. If I was feeling a little more ambitious, maybe up here to 509. And then, yeah, that's the middle course. 509 is the middle, and then we have the riskier retrace up here to 523. So yeah, I got a chat question. Okay. Patrick has posted the TradingView plans in the chat if you guys want to check those out. All right, any questions on ORN? Orion. Okay, we'll do one more sort on Altcoin Alert. Down social activity lately. Let's sort by Elder Impulse Daily. Let's go technical this time. On this, we're only going to get bearish, neutral, or bullish. We do like it when we get bullish on both the Elder Impulse Daily and the long-term sentiment. We had that with Luna. I like Luna. I traded a lot. And this one looks really good. It's up 7.74%. So nice, nice trend up today, but probably not played out. We still have a bullish AA score. A lot of good indicators here. So let's give it a look. Luna. Okay, on the day chart, wow, all-time high. It's over $80. Wow. Wasn't that long ago. I was trading down here below 10.
Short it.
You got that one, Laura?
I may.
I'm sorry, you cut off.
I may short that.
Oh, you're thinking about shorting it. All right.
Yeah.
Let's yeah, all-time high. That can be a good place to short. Let's check it out. It's kind of pumping now. On the 5-minute chart. Yeah, it's above the top of the Bollinger Band. The MFI has almost gone through the 80. You know, the RSI is at 65. You know, if these go through, what I like to do sometimes is set an alert maybe slightly below the 80. Let's see, on the RSI. You can either do this on the RSI or the MFI, maybe below these. Let's do it on the MFI. So right click here, add an alert. I want to be crossing down. And we'll go 74.5. So why do it that way is if I'm going to short this, I want it to go above and then cross down to get the direction I want. You can do it obviously the other way too. You can have it crossing up. So if it goes down, sometimes it'll just hang around down here. I want to catch it when it's coming back in the desired direction. So you can use your alerts on MFI or an RSI to accomplish that. So
Is the MFI the one that indicates oversold?
no, that's the RSI.
That's the RSI. Okay.
The RSI is overbought and oversold.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. MFI is the money flow, how much money is going in. They're very similar, and you can see that, you know, their patterns look quite a bit alike, but they're not exact. So I like to have both of them confirm as confirmation for what I see on the candles.
Okay.
Even having all that, you know, it can still go against you. Some whale dumps or buys, depending on which direction you're going, or, you know, an Elon Musk tweet or something like that.
Of course.
So it's the best we can do with TA. But
okay.
Short's looking good right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be reasonable to jump in now. I mean, these are trending down. They've been up pretty high, you know, in the last, you know, half an hour or so. And that alert just went off. So do with that what you will. I'm tempted to do something with it now, but I'm already into some other things. So, all right. And then let's say you want this on a long. You're not interested in shorting or doing leverage. You you like what you see on the long, on the 5-minute chart.
Can you hear me, CJ?
Yeah, Mark Hammer, go ahead.
What would you do to confirm that was breaking down on Luna?
Well, we're at the top of the Bollinger Band. As you can see, we're at the top of the Bollinger Band here and it drops. Top of the Bollinger Band here, it drops. Or again, here and it drops. So that in and of itself, the candle action is indicative of a drop. And we've had the MFI or the RSI go above the overbought area and then drop. And the MFI almost the money flow almost went over the 80, but not quite. So, and it's trending down too. So we got these hitting the top or towards the top, trending down, and we're at the top of the Bollinger Band trending down. So this is a pretty bearish scenario here.
Can you look at Bitcoin real quick and see what it's doing? And then that would be my last thing to look at.
Going down. No.
Yeah, I just had kind of a chubby red candle going down here on the 5-minute. So we were pushing above 47K. We lost that. We're at 46.88 now. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And your alts usually go 2 to 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. So, okay, we were pondering a spot trade too. Okay, we want this to go up, even though looks kind of played out now. Well, given that information, since everything's looking overbought here, we don't want to buy up here. We do have some support here around 75.80 and some more support here around 73.05. Might want to go in around half here at 75-ish if it drops that much. Then maybe my other half here of my first position around 72.50 or 73. That's probably how I would approach this if I want to do a spot trade and have it go up, because when it hits the bottom of the RSI, the 30 area, it usually bounces up. It hit here, bounced up. Hit here, bounced up. Almost hit here, bounced up. So, it's been working that way too. All right, any questions on Luna or the Bollinger Band or other indicators analysis? Okay, chat question. Craig's got a big gain on Luna, good for him. All right, well, I think that's it for Altcoin Alert. I was gonna move on to iCoinPro. Yeah, let's do that. Unless you have any questions on Altcoin Alert. All right, this is Altcoin Alert. This is the forum. One of the things I do in the morning is I read Justin Clark's analysis of the market in the forum. He just talks about the various ranges and then some of the coins he's looking at, the buddy coins. We'll talk about that in a moment. And then I like the RSI Spy Search and the buddy coin crawler. We'll look at the RSI Spy first. I sort by the 1-hour RSI. Values 30 and below tend to be oversold. 70 and above tend to be overbought, like we just looked at on the chart. There's nothing oversold at the moment on the 1-hour. A few things overbought, but nothing I would usually trade. MDT, Coinbase, you can't short there anyway, and this is overbought or oversold. So overbought, get those confused sometimes. So there's nothing we can do really with that information. And then none of these are below 30. Got some around 35. Binance coin at 37. This just isn't very useful. So if these were below 30, I'd be looking at some of these. So with that in mind, I'm going to bounce over to the buddy coin crawler. And with this, I'm searching or sorting by the low to the SMA line. The low is a 24-hour low. The SMA line is that pink line you see on my charts. And I'm hoping for 5% or better. That usually indicates the coin has room to move. And then I'm looking at the 24-hour volume as well, 10 million or more. So sometimes you get these high numbers like this on Brain Trust, the USDT pair. Most of Coinbase Pro's stable coins are USD, not USDT. So the volume's very low, 73,000. I wouldn't look at that twice. So, but the USD pair here on LCX is 33 million. That's good volume. So it's on Coinbase Pro. And I can click this down, this drop down menu and go to trading view, but I have it open already. So let's go ahead and look at it here. On the day, it was listed about 6 weeks ago on November 2nd, trended down pretty hard from that. It has bounced up yesterday and dropped some today. We just passed UTC time, so it's showing green now. Okay, we had a big run up and a pretty big drop on the 1 hour. It's up to 30 cents, down to 23 now on the 5 minute. Mostly riding the bottom of the Bollinger Band without breaking through. This is unusual. We broke through here briefly, but it's just hanging around here. Not really a dip sequence, but it is dropping. It's like a squeezy dip. And we've got, wow, it looks like a squeeze. There's almost 14% between the Bollinger Bands. So that's a lot of room to move. This is an intriguing trend trade, but we have lower lows and lower highs since 10 o'clock this morning, with the exception of this. Maybe go in small, to the top of the Bollinger Band is 5%. You got some resistance right around here in this range, around 6%. Some more here, around 12%. Up here, 30%. Feels like a gamble, but maybe putting in a 1/2 or 1/3 buy order here and trying to catch it up here would be intriguing. Yeah. Very interesting. All right, so I think that's how I would handle that one. Any questions on LCX? All right, a couple chats. All right, Craig's heading out saying Merry Christmas. Thanks, Craig. He's a frequent contributor to my show. Appreciate him. And thank you from Cheryl. A lot of holiday greetings going out this week. Glad to be with you guys. All right, so any questions on LCX? I may have said that already. Juggling a few things here.
I just got out of it.
All right, good for you. Let's look at this one here. DFI money, USDT on Binance, 29 million volume. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm curious about your thinking on iCoinPro or this tool you're doing.
Okay.
Do you usually repeat that when you do these presentations? Your steps? Like what's your strategy looking at iCoinPros?
I usually look at it in the morning. And then maybe again in the afternoon, depending on, or right now I'm in all the trades I want to be right now. So I didn't look at it this afternoon until this show. But if, Altcoin Alert and iCoinPro are my main information sources. I have a few others as well. I like the Rsi Spy a lot, and we just didn't have anything that showed up in that. So that's why I'm spending more time on the Buddy Coin Crawler. This also in the morning helps me choose what coins I'm going to follow throughout the day and set other alerts on indicators. I showed the forum briefly, and Justin Clark, the co-founder, talked about, my buds today are, and he listed 3 coins, and he tends to use the 24-hour USD volume sort more. Goes for the higher volume, and then he looks at the SMA. I do the opposite. So, but either one's fine. We're just looking for coins that have room to move. Does that answer your question, Mark?
Yes.
All right, cool. We were looking at YFII. Big bubble. Interesting. We'll get back to that. Let's see the big picture first. Okay, big pump up in August. Almost $8,000. And dropped all the way down to 2,400. Back up to 38. Dropped down to 31. Okay, a couple days ago, we were almost to $4,000. Dropped down here to 3,000. This one's volatile. Looks like we have some support right about where we are now, at least on the 1 hour. Okay, this does a squeeze in a bubble, exactly what we're looking for. But then the candle action's weird. It just goes sideways, cuts through, and doesn't do the dip sequence we're used to seeing. So it might drop again. We do have some support at right around, say, $3,070. I think I'd put an alert around 3,000, between 3,000 and 3,080. Say I caught it at right about here at 30.50. To the SMA line where it is now is 5%. That's a good trade. This resistance here, 15%, is a real good trade. This is riskier up here to almost 19%. But I've traded this one a few times, YFI and YFII. They're really volatile, but what that means: good profits and sometimes some scary losses and some scary ladder buying sequences. But yeah, I kind of like this one. Not quite where it is, but down here definitely. All right, any questions on YFII? Okay, Craig says he's still here. Laura was leaving. Okay. Well, that was Laura. All right, I misread the chat. Okay, I got an alert going off. What was that? That's one I forgot to turn off. All right, guys. Who wanted to look at? Was that comp, the one I was supposed to look at? I have to cut this a little short tonight because I have another call in 15 minutes. All right, Oliver wants to look at comp, so let's do that. All right, it's the Binance chart on the day. We have the all-time high up here back in May, almost over $900. Pretty big drop from there down to below 200. On the 1 hour, we were up to 214 a few days ago. Pretty hard drop till early this morning, but some recovery today. 5 minute. Generally don't trade these really expensive coins, for spot trades. Maybe for a swing trade, but yeah, we've only got 2% between the Bollinger Bands. It's very squeezy. Don't like that. So try to catch it down here. We got some support around 182. If you bought that there, to the SMA line where it is now, about 3.5%. If you're looking for a new trade, I think we've looked at better options than this, YFII or a Luna short. I think would be better options. Oliver, if you don't mind speaking up, are you in this trade right now? Or are you pondering it? Okay, he's asking.
Okay, CJ, I just unmuted myself.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been, getting more bold with my manual trading, and my confidence was starting to go up, and because I was getting some wins, going small, getting some wins, majority wins, 2 out of 3. Sunday morning, I looked at comp and I thought it was going to pump up. So I took a long and I went in for more than I should have.
Oh,
Yeah. So I'm just waiting for it to come back up. I had to actually move some funds over, lower my leverage so I could sleep well last night. And yeah, that's where I'm at.
all right. So you're going to leverage trade. And have you bought another position, say around in the 180s? Or do you not have the budget for that?
I should have. No, I didn't do that, CJ.
Well, if you bought at 200 and so 188
I
now.
went in at 10x. I went in at 10x. What I got a little bold and I got my confidence. I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna try for a little bit more than I normally do, as a new leveraged trader, and this one immediately just started dumping on me like right away.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
Yeah.
In those situations, I usually set an alert for 6 to 10% on the chart below where I bought, and then consider getting in again to improve my overall exit. So if you were in at 200 and you bought again at, I think 10% of that would be down to 180.
Yeah.
Say 6% would be down to about 185. So, if you have positions at the same amount of money at 200 and 185, your halfway is like 192 something, and you would have hit that right about here. So that's why we like ladder buying. But it is riskier to do on leverage. But yeah,
I appreciate that. That's a good strategy. I'm learning every day, and that's why I'm here. Yeah. Yeah, just according to what I had learned previously with some of my other trades, and I'd actually had good luck with comp before a couple times. Request Network did me well a couple times. And so I thought I got a little more confidence, and so yeah, it slapped me down. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right, guys.
I was looking at it going, the candles look good. The MFI looked good. I really thought I was going to go up a little bit.
All right.
I wasn't going to get greedy. I was only trying to look for 5%,
Sure. Especially on 10x leverage. So, 1 or 2% is good on that. But guys, I'm gonna have to end this here. Nathan's asking me to go through all the tools on iCoinPro. Go ahead and email me about that. And we can talk about that off camera. Usually on the show, I just go over the 2 tools you saw, the Buddy Coin Crawler and the Rsi Spy. So I will hang around for about 5 to 10 minutes to go over some of the other stuff we're all into. And then I'm going to have to go ahead and end it there because I have another call at in about 15 minutes. So I'll stop the recording here. You guys have a good, whoever, if you're watching on the recording, have good holidays. We'll see you next week.